Hello YouTubers. So CES has come to an end. So what I thought I'd do is do a video about the other cameras that had been announced. I've already talked about the Kodak Playfull, which I'm really looking forward to. So I thought I would sort of give you a quick rundown of the other cameras that are coming out. I'm not going to go too much into the specifications because it's time consuming and there's quite a lot of cameras to get through. So I'll give you a sort of brief specs. I am going to put links to the reviews and the specifications in the description box so that you guys can check out the reviews for yourselves. Right, so first up we have the Sony Bloggie range, which is the Live and the Sony Bloggie Sport. The Sony Bloggie Live has Wi-Fi capability, 8 gig of memory, it's got a flash, 12.8 megapixels, stills on it, a built-in battery, 1080p, 720p. I think it's basically the same as the Bloggie Touch but with the Wi-Fi capability on it. Now, the Wi-Fi part of it, you need to have a quick account and it live streams in VGA quality. I did read somewhere that if you have a quick premium account, then you can stream in 720p. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see on that one. In the review that I saw, they also said that the audio is meant to be really, really good, that they've improved the audio, but it doesn't have a mic input, which is a bit of a bummer. Also, what I'm going to be really interested in is whether they've sorted out the orientation thing. When I say the orientation thing, what I mean is that when you have it on a stand, you have these two huge, great big lines down both sides where it's like the iPod Touch and the iPhone. And a lot of people were having problems with that because obviously in order to get a full screen's worth, you've got to have it on its side, and the tripod mount isn't on the side, it's on the bottom. So it will be interesting to see if they've actually fixed that. So that's the Sony Bloggie Live. Next we have the Sony Bloggie Sport. This is the waterproof version of the Sony Bloggie. It does look quite nice. I do like the blue one. I do think that does look quite nice. It's meant to have Exmor sensor on it, which is meant to give it better low light. It's also got a flash, so it has the Bloggie Live. It's only got 4 gig of memory, built-in battery, auto macro, auto focus, 5 megapixels instead of 12, 720p, 1080p, all that sort of malarkey. It will be interesting to see what this one is like because of it being waterproof and everybody going waterproof crazy recently. The Bloggie Live is going to be $250 available in the next coming weeks, and so is the Bloggie Sport. It will be $180, and I could only find the Bloggie Sport in the UK for £179, and it will be released in March. Details in the description box. So next up we have the Toshiba Air10 and the Toshiba Clip. This is part of the Camileo range. The Toshiba Air10 first, which is their version of a Wi-Fi camera. 16 megapixel stills. It's got a replaceable battery, SD cards, 1080p, 720p, all that sort of stuff. 16 megapixel stills, which is pretty good. Now, as far as the Wi-Fi part is concerned, some people said it would do 1080p, other people said it would do 720p. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm going by what the Toshiba guy said in the CES show, and he said it can do 720p, so that's probably what it can do. All you have to do is connect it up to Ustream. You don't need to, all you need is a Ustream account, which doesn't cost you anything, and you can live stream in 720p, which I think is pretty good. With both the Toshiba and the Sony Bloggie Live, you can upload to YouTube and Facebook without using your computer once it's set up, I think, which is pretty handy. Toshiba Air will be available in February for $149. Couldn't find it anywhere in the UK, which is a bit of a bummer. So there you go. I think that is quite a nice little budget Wi-Fi camera. Now, again, with all of these cameras, I've got no idea what the quality's like, both in audio and video, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. Next up is the Toshiba Clip, which looks like quite a nice little camera. You've got a clip on the back of it, which looks quite good. BSI sensor, which should give it good low light. It's ruggedized, which is quite groovy. 1080p, 720p, all that sort of stuff. I think it might even have VGA as well. 5 megapixel stills instead of 16. It's got a built-in battery, I think. and you can have the SD cards on it as well, which is quite groovy, which obviously makes it quite good. Again, we'll have to wait and see what the video and audio is like. It'll be available in February for $100. Next up, we have the Samsung W300, which I think looks like quite a nice little camera. It basically looks like the upgrade to the W200. Hopefully, if the W200 had any problems, that they've sorted it out with this. It looks pretty much the same, but obviously they've sort of changed the layout around a little bit. It's ruggedized, waterproof, dustproof, all that sort of stuff. It's meant to have quite a nice amount in your picture, which is quite groovy. 720p and 1080p at 30 frames per second. No VGA, I don't think. It has the BSI sensor as well, which means the low light should be good. Not sure about the audio. Not sure about the video quality either. It will be available in March for $159. Again, I couldn't find it anywhere in the UK. But it does look like the upgrade to the W200. So it will be interesting to see what that turns out like. Okay, next up we have the Panasonic range. Now, I didn't really see that many videos from the CES show on the Panasonic range, which I thought was a bit peculiar, to be honest. But there you go. You've got the DC2, the W2 and the WA20. Now, I had a look in the specifications, which link in the description, and to me, it doesn't seem that much different than the DC10 and the WA10. The DC2, which is the cheapest out of all of them, does have the auto mode that the DC10 had, and I think it's got the backlight, which the DC1 doesn't have. But I think it's also got the good zoom on it as well. All of them have got this panorama shot thing, which I think is a bit weird. The differences between the W2 and the WA20 is that the W2 has 14 megapixels, the WA20 has got a slow motion mode and is 16 megapixels instead of 14. So there you go. Prices, the DC2 is £181, the W2 is £260 and the WA20 is £300. To me, being someone that likes his budget camcorders, that is a little bit pricey, to be honest. But then if you've got the money, then it might be worth having a look at. I think out of all of them, the DC2 would be the one that I would want to have a look at the most, because it seems to be the upgrade to the DC1. So again, it will be interesting to see what they turn out like. Check out the specifications on the link below. Hopefully they've sorted out the audio. So that will be quite a biggie for me. If they've sorted out the audio, then that would be great. So that's your little run-up of all the cameras. One of the things that I sort of noticed the most is that there tends to be these sort of little crazes that go on, and companies sort of try and look for new ways to interest people. One of the things that annoys me is that they seem to concentrate on the wrong things. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I do not see any point in having Wi-Fi in a Pocket HD camcorder. I know why they're doing it. Ever since Flip said we're not going to be around anymore because smartphones are better than what we can do, ever since that happened, it seems that this year there are various companies that are going a bit Wi-Fi crazy, which I think is a bit of a waste of time, to be honest, because if you want to use your smartphone to do HD video instead of your Pocket HD camcorder, for a start, there's no tripod mount. Another thing is that the battery life isn't going to be as good. Also, you're not going to have a waterproof mobile phone, are you? Or if you do, it's not going to do very good video. If you want to get good HD video with good audio, then you're going to have to spend quite a lot of money, quite a lot more money on the phone than you would on a Pocket HD camcorder. So I can't see what they're coming at. I think that there is room for the Pocket HD camcorders, and I think all of the Wi-Fi stuff is just a waste of time. I think that they should be concentrating on better audio, better video, better low light. That's what I think they should be looking at. I think they should also be looking at putting LCD displays on the candy bar ones so that you can see what you're recording, and also maybe even put a mic jack in there. And the battery life is also a biggie, and memory as well. I think if they use their time in looking at those things instead of wasting their time on 3D and blooming Wi-Fi, then they would sell a lot more pocket camcorders. I mean, the Sony Bloggie Duo, which I still would like to get hold of, I think sort of nailed it really. If they'd have sorted the orientation out better, then that would be, you know, a really good camera, because it's got the LCD display on the front, which helps a lot. I don't know. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to the new Kodak, is because of the mic input, and because it's a dual camera. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's my little waffle done. I think my top 3 favourite cameras that have been announced, based on specifications alone, mind you, is the Kodak Playfull ZI-12, the Toshiba Air10, and the Samsung W300. They're my top 3 favourites out of the CES show. It's going to be interesting to see how all the cameras fare and what they all turn out like. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until people buy them and test them and do video and audio tests on them. I am still hoping to get hold of the Playfull ZI-12, but that's not going to be for a couple of weeks yet. So we'll have to wait and see on all of them. So there you go, that's my little video. Hope it's been helpful. Sorry it's been a bit long, but a lot to get in there and a lot to get through. If anything happens, then I shall do another video. Another thing that I noticed is that I've got over 1 million video views, which I was really flabbergasted at, to be honest. So I'm really chuffed about that. Thanks to everybody who's watched my videos and subscribed, and the comments and messages. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. That's enough from me. Hope you have a good evening, and I'll do some more later on. Okay, bye bye for now.